Hello, happy 2020. It is the first day, it is still the morning of January 1st, 2020, and I'm coming to you today to offer a bit of a blessing and a bit of clarity for this year. I think that the past year, 2019, was an incredible year. Wow, so much awakening. Awakening around the climate, uh, learning of the science, believing of the science, seeing the science come true before our very eyes in our countries, around the world, in our backyards. The earth drying up, the rains coming less frequent and more heavily, the natural disasters becoming more frequent, the fires raging and taking homes and lives, and a year that was fairly traumatic as we awakened to the truth of that we are not just here on this planet to take, that we are not here to just enjoy and indulge and holiday, but that we are actually a part of this incredible, vast, interconnected ecosystem. And that this planet is equally abundant and limited, and that we must honor that and respect that and acknowledge that, and be aware of the consequences of our actions, and live in moderation and live in community, and coming back to all of this ancient wisdom that helped us evolve as a species, as beings, and tuning into that ancient wisdom and tuning into that natural instinct that we have as humans, as creatures. So it's been an incredible year, 2019. We have so much to be grateful for this incredible ending of this decade, what we hope to be perhaps the ending of the Pyrocene, going out with much fire here, especially on this continent of Australia. Ending the age of the fossil fuels, of combustion, of burning fossil fuels, of burning these dinosaur skeletons that have been in the Earth's crust, in the ground for centuries, for ages, millions of years. So stopping burning these things, which is clearly impacting the climate, our planet, in a horrendous way. And coming into a new era, a dawning of a new decade, where we are more in tune with nature, where we are more in tune with our role on this planet, our role on nature. So yeah, 2019, incredible year. Everyone woke up to plastics as well, which was really exciting for me. People, my job, I spent 10 years trying to bring awareness to the issue, trying to, this whole decade has been about, you guys, plastic is bad for us, it's bad for the earth, it's bad for the marine creatures, it's bad for the ocean, it's infiltrating our food chain, it's, in all of our beauty products. What does it do? It disrupts our hormones, so people finally are aware that plastic is bad for the environment. I still have plenty of work to do in helping people understand why it's bad for human health. But awakening to these things as problems, and realizing that, yeah, we have to make changes to how we consume and how we live. So 2020 is looking very bright. It's definitely, the worst is not behind us. But this decade is about action. It's about empowered, intentional change. We each have to bring this. It's not just going to happen. It's not just here because, that's what the cosmos says or astrology predicts. It's because of the awakening of the past year. It's because so many people are like, holy shit, this is real. This is happening. The scientists are right. The way things are going does not work. Business as usual, we can't carry on in this way. it's because of that awakening that we now come into this new decade with a renewed sense of strength, of purpose, with energy and passion for these problems that we need to solve. And, whilst this is absolute crisis, the climate emergency is horrendous, and it's taking so many lives and creating so many refugees with less and less space to go. And it's really scary, and it's hard, and it's also putting humans under the pressure that perhaps we need to solve these problems. And that's exciting. So this year, I welcome you to take some time to reflect on your 2019, and then bring some intention to this new year, to this new decade. As I said, we each are bringing this awakening. We each are bringing this year of change, because it's through our own journeys of learning, of growing, of evolving, that we show up as warriors for our planet, for warriors for ourselves, warriors for spirit, whatever it is that calls you to rise, to stand up, to step up. It's through our own self-cultivation. So we have to take care of ourselves. We have to tune into ourselves. We have to know ourselves. We have to know our boundaries. We have to learn to manage our energy. Shine bright, shine love, share love, be compassionate, be loving. But feel in and know where your boundaries are. How much can you give? And where do you need to stop and then replenish and refill your cup? Managing the energy. How do we, be more courageous? How do we be more compassionate? How do we be more loving? How can we be more inclusive? How can we be less shaming? So reflecting on all of these characteristics or feelings or intentions or things that we maybe want to embody or bring into this new decade takes time. It took me 3 days to write all of this, to know how I want to come into 2020. And a lot of my 2020 is about clarity, planning, strategy, being grounded, to be able to really see clearly and operate from a place of grounded strength, of intention, with a plan, which is, to be honest, not really my nature. I'm a mermaid. I'm flowing. I'm organic. I like to just flow and go with the flow and allow for the magic to unfold in real time. And that served me. But in my reflection, what will serve me in this new decade, or at least in this new year, is to be grounded and to be clear, and and the goal setting and the resolutions. Maybe that you're not in. It works for me. That is something that I enjoy, taking time to reflect and kind of make a plan or a map, or at least just brainstorm about what I want to feel. I do have a manifestation meditation if you're interested in, if you're not sure where you want to go, if the vision for your future for 5 years, for 10 years isn't super clear for you, go to my YouTube channel, Plastic Free Mermaid, and look up manifestation meditation. It's just a really beautiful exercise to just lay somewhere comfy and listen to this meditation, to know where you want to be in 10 years, in 5 years, in 1 year, and what you have to do in 1 year to get to the 10 year, what you have to do in 5 years to get to the 10 years. So that's something that can be helpful. And of course, the whole point of this is that we don't even know where the human race will be in 10 years. There are scientists that predict we don't have 10 years. So, keep reading all of the climate literature and having discussions and staying on top of the science and sharing the science and, making this real. It's so bizarre that people are just carrying on business as usual when our planet is literally on fire, where people are having to get into boats and go out into the middle of the lake because the fires are so bad. Their houses are burning. 500 million animals have died in these wildfires in Australia. Like it's serious. We're in the emergency. We're in the crisis. So how do we plan for our dream futures? How do we plan for the planet's future when everything is so in flux? And that's why taking time to reflect and meditate and just have some alone time to really feel into what you want, what you dream of, what your vision is, and then feeling into, okay, what do I need to do this year to make sure the planet's safe, to make sure, you know, my dreams can come true. What do I need to sacrifice this year and the coming years to ensure that we have a healthy planet to build my dreams on, and to coexist, and to thrive, and have healthy food and water for all of humanity and all of the animals. Yeah, so we're coming into this decade. We are bringing the awakening. We've had the awakening, now we're bringing the action. We're bringing the empowered intentional change. And we each bring this through our thoughts. So keep them positive. We bring them through our words. You know, be impeccable with your words. I don't know if you've read Don Miguel Ruiz' Four Agreements. Love that book, super easy read. Be impeccable with your word. And our actions. What do we actually do? How are we showing up? Yes, climate. Yes, we need to fly less. Yes, we need to eat vegan. Yes, we need to buy less. Yes, we need to talk about the climate emergency and help people realize that this is happening now, and it's an emergency, and it's not just natural cycles. What are our actions? How are we showing up meaningfully? So yeah, we'll get to 2020, but for 2019, I have a few suggestions if you want to reflect on this past year. You know, easy one that you can do around the dinner table if you want to bring a little bit of intention to your gatherings with your friends or your family. Highs, lows, and lessons. What were the highs for 2019 or the whole decade? Depends on how deep you want to go. What were the lows? You know, taking some time to reflect on what was hard, what was challenging. You know, the highs, acknowledging yourself for your achievements and what you're proud of and what you've done. And then the lessons. What have you learned? You know, what do you not want to have to learn again in this new decade? Just reflecting, journal, write. It's such a beautiful exercise to just write out all of this stuff. If you want a few longer questions, my beautiful friend and mentor Nim offered me a few exercises, which I found really helpful and beautiful. So a year-end audit, scoring yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being highly unsatisfied, 10 being couldn't get any better, on your health. How does your body and mind feel? This includes your energy, nutrition, sleep, exercise, mood, mental health. Feel free to pause, get a notebook, and do this right now, or at least take notes, write these down, and then take yourself to somewhere beautiful in nature and just go through this reflection. So health, family and friends. How do you feel about the quality of relationships in your life? This includes family, friends, coworkers, and how you communicate with them. Love, how do you feel about romance in your life? This includes connection, communication with loved ones, intimacy, and sex. Money, how do you feel about your financial situation? This includes income, expenses, debt, and financial freedom. Career, how do you feel about work and your career trajectory? This includes your current role, career strategy, industry, work-life balance, coworkers, power, and status. Spirituality, are you connected to something bigger and greater than yourself? This includes religion, beliefs, rituals, practices, meditations, and expression. Personal growth, how much time do you devote and spend towards self-improvement? This includes reading, training, learning, writing, and coaching. Fun, how much time do you devote to recreation and fun? This includes events, shows, travel, time outdoors, and anything you consider fun. Technology, how does technology play a role in your life? This includes your relationship to devices, time spent online, and ability to disconnect. Environment, how do you feel about your physical environment? This includes your living space, country, city, town, and workspace. So that's a nice way to just reflect on, where you're at, how you're doing. Take the time to really journal it out. I found some really beautiful pieces of gold in that journal activity, really bringing clarity to how I am at this moment and how I want to enter this new decade. Another exercise, you can ask yourself these questions. Moving on, what no longer serves you? What are you letting go of? Habits and behaviors. What are 2 or 3 habits or behaviors that you will stop in 2019? What are 2 or 3 habits or behaviors you will start? What are 2 or 3 habits that you will continue? Fears and obstacles. What obstacles will you face and how will you overcome them to accomplish your goals? Goals. What 3 big goals will you accomplish next year? What's important about them? What 2 or 3 skills and competencies will you acquire? All right, next steps in planning. What are the next steps you can take towards your goals? Be specific. What resources do you need in order to start making progress? How can you create early wins and momentum? How can you evaluate your progress? So I found those really helpful to reflect on where I'm at and where I'm going. So again, if you're not sure where you're going, if you want some clarity around that, tune into my YouTube channel, Plastic Free Mermaid. I'll put the link in the caption here, and look up the manifestation meditation. And do what works for you, you know, set a ritual, come into clarity, meditate, sit in silence, somewhere quiet, somewhere peaceful, and just feel into yourself and what you need as you come into this new decade. Maybe a journaling session doesn't work for you. Maybe you're an artist, maybe you draw, maybe you sing it out, maybe sitting in circle with other sisters or brothers helps you feel safe and a part of a community where you can really tune into what you need. And setting resolutions or goals or drawing a map, or maybe just, you know, doing the manifestation meditation and feeling into what's coming for you and what you're really calling in, and just one word or one image, and making a vision board. You know, there's many ways that you can bring intention to this dawning of this new era, this new portal that we've entered for change, for transformation, this new portal for magic. You know, there's incredible cosmic happenings coming even in this month, even in just days. So it's really a special time for us, for our planet. And the more intention that we can bring, the more we can create, the more we can manifest, the more we can heal. So yeah, I welcome you to journal it out, sit in silence, call in your spirit guides, you know, call in your intuition, call in guidance, the ancient wisdom to come to you, and be quiet and be patient and let it flow. Some of the learnings that I want to share with you today from my meditation reflection, and more, you know, I think I've shared in my story that I'm seeking, you know, some more practical planning and strategizing for this year. I really want to organize my content and make it a really useful resource for people to learn and grow. And I've been asking you guys a lot of what you need and want, so be sure to comment and get in touch with what you want to learn, not through the DM. The inbox is a black hole. Please comment on the pages. But yeah, what's really clear to me is this kind of elemental imbalance. You know, with the bushfires raging and taking lives, this lack of water, lack of clean water, lack of water falling from the sky, lack of water soaking in the earth, the dried earth, the dried barren earth, the sick, dead soils, the high winds blowing, a gale. Yeah, it's a bit eerie. It's a bit ominous to have these elements. You know, it's like Earth is just kind of like, ooh, just sick. She's sick. And so as I reflect on what 2020 looks like, and how I want to show up for this decade, how I want to show up for this planet, how I want to show up for my path and my purpose, I was really tuning into the elements, and I want to bring more spirituality to my offerings. I want to bring more sacred intention and ritual, because, as I said, this change, this transformation begins with us, begins with our hearts, begins with our souls, begins with our minds, so that we're not caught up in the cognitive dissonance, that we're not caught up in the marketing schemes of buying more Black Friday when our country's on fire. So that we are sovereign beings that are choosing what we spend our money on, how we earn our money, what we spend our time on, who we spend our time with. We are sovereign. We choose it all. And we're not just caught up with what society tells us to do, but that we're choosing, that we are intentional with how we spend our time and how we live on this planet, and how we live in alignment or out of alignment with nature. Being more aware of the wind on our skin, and the water in our bodies, the earth of our flesh, the wind in our lungs, the breath, all of this, the fire in our hearts to act or to love or to play. So tuning into our likeness with nature, and in this, honoring the elements, and what came to me this year is water. Honoring this sacred element. We're on a water planet. Our bodies are mostly water, and yet this is becoming such a scarce resource. 11% of our planet doesn't have access to clean water. That's 790 million people don't have access to this. That's 32 times the population of Australia don't have access to clean water. And yet we bathe in it. We flush it down the toilets with our waste. This whole year I've really just been tuning into the preciousness of water, and how grateful I am for it, and how we've been abusing it. And I as I bring more ritual and spirit nature connection to my teachings and my work, my personal practice, I plan to honor water with a prayer every day, and this is, not only a prayer to honor water and our earth, and hoping that these rituals can, these daily rituals can, tune into the earth and the land, and help her hold the water, and tune into the sky, and help the humidity gather and form more rain, and to taper, to not be so intense, the rains when they do flow, and the water in the land to flow and nourish the plants and the trees and the animals. So this is such an intention, which also helps connect me back to nature and my spiritual practice, and help me be grounded in that. Honoring the crisis our planet is in, through this water ritual, honoring, and through this prayer, I will continue to tap into the ancient wisdom of our ancestors, and I welcome that guidance. And that's part of this humbling journey as an earth warrior, is that we don't know. I'm a channel for this work. I sit and I meditate and I receive guidance. I pause in situations and I take deep breaths, and I feel into my belly and I feel into my heart, and I wait for the intuition, the guidance. And so this guidance to honor water will continue to evolve and unfold, and offer wisdom and more guidance. But it's such a beautiful I guess intention that I'm excited to be setting for this new decade, or for this year, because it also came with staying really clear, honoring water, drinking water, this cleansing, healing clarity, daily baptism as I drink, a liter of water to start each day, and it also said to not drink alcohol, so to drink water, to offer a ritual and prayer to honor water, and to not have any alcohol. Which is great. I'm not that interested in alcohol at this stage in my life anyways. It's fun, but it's really not necessary. I'm not that great at holding alcohol anyways. So yeah, in reflecting what's no longer serving me, alcohol makes sense. To give that up, to stay clear, to continue just to honor my body, my earthly body, and not dehydrate it with alcohol, but instead to nourish it with water. So what a beautiful kind of learning from the reflection process, to honor the crisis that our planet is in by staying clear, So alcohol is, it feels like poison in my body. It is poison, but it also is a depressant. It is, it makes everything blurry and it makes me sick. So as I walk into this year of action where I want to be super tight and narrow focus and efficient and allow the magic to flow and the lush juiciness of this mermaid life of working for the planet, of working for the people. There's so much magic, there's so much beautiful highs and lows that come with this work already. And so to make a sacrifice to not have alcohol this year, it feels really good to honor my earthly body, to keep myself really healthy and vibrant and grounded, to be able to walk this path with even more strength and clarity. Which is also quite funny because I'm already such like a dinner guest nightmare, right? Like, don't use any plastic. So everyone's always hiding their plastic when I come over, and like, oh, don't look in that cupboard. And I don't eat animal products, so it narrows the amount of things that people, if I'm coming to no plastic, no animal products, no alcohol. And it's funny, I swear I'm fun times. I'm a good time, you guys. But for me personally, I really want to solve some shit in 2020, and staying clear. That it makes sense for me. This doesn't feel like a sacrifice to me at all. This is it's more like a boundary. It's like the plastic-free boundary. I just don't use plastic. Just won't have alcohol because I'm staying clear for the planet. I'm staying clear for my body. I'm just honoring my earth, my system, with this sort of offering to ease my path to ascension as well. So this will benefit me in my spiritual journey as well. That's about it that I have to share with you guys today. I do really invite you to take time to reflect on 2019, on the past year, on your personal journey and where you're at right now, your personal state, as well as our collective, our planetary state, and what it is that we need going forward. We each have different magic to offer, and we each have different things that are going to help our planet. So what is it that you're bringing? And we each have, different perspectives on what's happening. So feel in, reflect, and share. Here, comment below, and share with your friends and family and coworkers. And then reflect on your life vision too. Where do you want to go? And help let that inform your intentions and goals for 2020. So I hope that you are feeling good, you're feeling grounded and happy and held, remember to feel into yourself. No one else can ever make you whole or complete. You are complete and whole and perfect just as you are. And with intention, we can really activate and harness some of the magic within us, our own unique magic, and bring it to the world. And as we do that, yes, shine your light, but also manage your energy. Don't just give it all away. Hold your boundaries. Feel in and know what your boundaries are, where your limits are. Just like our earth is limited, we are limited. So let us manage our resources, and be brave. We've got this. We're in this together. More and more people are waking up always. It's a beautiful time to be alive. It's scary, but it's beautiful. You can do this. Happy 2020.